We're about to experience the joy of flying. Now, we're here at Warnervale on the New South Wales Central Coast at the Central Coast Aero Club. We're going to be flying a number of planes today, starting with this Russian Yak. It'll be going into formation with 2 other aircraft. We'll be filming all of that. Then some stunt work right over this airstrip. And finally, an air lesson, learning how to fly. They're going to teach me my very first lesson in this episode of Travel Oz. G'day, welcome. I'm Greg Granger.
Ahead, team roping. Watch the expert ropers take down a steer. Country charm in Camden. Brewing at Lake Macquarie. A very special hideout in the Hunter Valley. And aerial stunt work over the Central Coast. Coming up as we travel Oz. It's a super busy small airport. The Central Coast Airport at Warnervale, 1 hour's drive north of Sydney, where Andrew Smith has a very active hands-on role.
Andrew, a very active Aero Club.
Yeah, we are very active and grown a lot over the last few years. So a big, busy, active Aero Club. Yeah.
Doing the scenic flights?
Scenic flights. We cover scenic flights. We do aerobatic flights in our ex-military CT4s. We do a lot of flight training as well.
So you're a very accomplished pilot in your own right, and you've got, with that expertise, the rights to manage this club, look after all the trainee pilots and that here?
Yeah, so I'm the president of the Aero Club, and then I also run the flying school, which is the more business-like part of the operation.
And how is this part of the world to fly in, I imagine, with the mountains, all the greenery and the sea so close? It's a pretty specky place.
We're very lucky, very lucky. So we've got the biggest coastal lake system in Australia. We've got the ocean, beautiful beaches, and we've got hills and mountains just west of the runway here. So we've sort of got a bit of everything. Very lucky, and close to Sydney and Newcastle as well.
Pilots here love to show off their skills. There's formation flying. Joy flights taking passengers over the scenic splendours of the Central Coast. And aerobatics, as Brian Greenfield specialises in his time off from flying Qantas Dreamliners.
We have a Pacific Aerospace Corporation CT4E model, built in New Zealand, Hamilton in fact, on the North Island, by the Kiwis.
Good stunt plane?
Great aeroplane, good for doing aerobatics, and was actually used by the Royal New Zealand Air Force to train their pilots over the previous 20 or so years.
So we're watching you go up here over the Central Coast airstrip, and you're doing some pretty fancy aerial work up there.
Thank you, very kind words. As pilots, and particularly aerobatic display pilots, we're always very hard on ourselves. It takes a degree of discipline, and always striving for perfection with manoeuvres and still learning. Aerobatic manoeuvres are a combination of energy in the vertical, horizontal, potential energy, and kinetic or speed energy. So you're converting one to the other and using the aeroplane's inertia momentum to fly those particular manoeuvres through the sky. So coupled with that, Greg, you're looking at cues outside the aircraft. So cues in front of you, cues to the left and right of you, cues above you. Now when I say cues, I'm meaning features on the ground as well as features on the airplane itself, like the wingtips, the wings, the front of the engine. All those cues you learn when you're learning to fly aerobatics.
So it's not only preparation for these wonderful Kiwi stunt planes, you also prepare for flying for Qantas. You're up in the Dreamliner.
I do. I'm in a very fortunate position, Greg, in that I get to combine flying these wonderful airplanes. I also teach in these aircraft at this airport, Warnervale Airport on the Central Coast, as part of the flying school. But on Sunday, Qantas give me the keys to a 787 Dreamliner, and I'll be flying that to Dallas.
How do they compare? Which do you prefer?
Aeroplanes are aeroplanes. I get asked that question quite often, Greg. Look, each has their own benefits and pros and cons, so to speak. I love flying this aeroplane at displays and air shows. I love teaching in small airplanes, but also I get the satisfaction from on Sunday, for example, when I fly to Dallas, 16-hour flight, I'll have 230 people in the back seat, and I'll be taking them with me. One of them might be their first flight on an aeroplane, others might be going to see family, work. I get satisfaction from that as well.
Certainly getting satisfaction here at the Central Coast Aero Club today is Brianna. She's Andrew's daughter.
Hello, Brianna.
Hi.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 15.
15, and you're flying planes solo.
Yes. Very exciting. Honestly, I love the views up there. I love everything. Like being able to be in control, take off, everything. It's just amazing.
So Brianna can fly a plane at age 15, 1 year before she can legally drive a car. What about me? Can I learn to fly? Tony Moore's giving me my very first lesson. My training aircraft today is a Cessna 152 with dual controls. Up and away we go for an exhilarating experience.
Bring the wings back to level.
Yep.
And now I'm going to hand over to you, and you can have a go, Greg. So hand
My
me
turn.
over.
Here we go. Got the controls. I'm in control.
You're in control.
You feel safe?
Well, ask me later.
Freedom plus up here, and just look at those views that Andrew promised. Mountains. Greenery. And the tantalising waters of the Pacific Ocean and Tuggerah Lakes.
You've got it.
Now at this early stage, lesson number 1, you're looking after the speed. All I've got to do is look after elevation.
That's right. And we call those the primary controls, the
Yep.
control column and the ladder pedals.
And looking around all the time, looking around for other aircraft.
Traffic standing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Good work.
Flying lesson number 1. I will keep this up. Just keep that nose down, will you, Greg?
We're in the Hunter Valley, the Hunter River flowing directly below us here. Now here is the township of Greta, the historic township of Greta, where there used to be a big migration camp, and we're about to talk to a resident who is descended from one of the migrants here at that camp. Also here in Greta, a big, exciting, red-hot cafe, the Girl and the Goat.
So here's the cafe. Lots of pics from patrons who have their very own goats. And lots of residents who've had experiences with the big migration camp that once flourished here in Greta. Amongst them, historian Helen Scott.
Helen, you've got a very special family connection to Greta.
I have. My parents emigrated here in 1950.
Yes.
In June and December 1950 on 2 separate ships. They were here for a very short time and then they were contracted to work in Queensland.
So there's a community hall here. You've got it filled with memorabilia, photographs and that from that immigration camp.
Yes, I have. I have over 1,000 photos, which I have gone through and selected at least 100 at the moment to place around the front foyer.
Helen, you're the historian for that immigration camp.
I'm one of many. I could say I'm one of many historians because there's quite a few of us out there. I've just taken it upon myself to look after the community hall because it was part of Greta Camp for both the army as well as the migrants.
Back at the Girl and the Goat, it's all hands-on this busy Sunday morning. At the helm is Kirsten Darks. She was once a nurse, but now brings a real charitable heart to the township of Greta and its less well-off residents.
And this is your cafe.
It is, yes, the Girl and the Goat.
It's really, really thriving.
We've got the support of the community, which is wonderful, so that's really nice.
One of the reasons you get the support of the community is you offer suspended drinks and meals.
We have suspended coffees available, so anyone can walk in if they're struggling that week and they can ask for a suspended coffee and they get it, no questions, no charge. And then we offer 4 family packs a week of meals for any family in need.
And that tradition comes from Italy.
Started in Italy, yeah, several hundred years ago, I believe. They referred to it as hanging coffees.
And you've got some great staff. Nettie here.
We have Nettie's our pastry chef, so she makes all our cakes from scratch, which are beautiful.
So you're looking at a great array of food here. Thank you so much. Great array. You've got the Spanish omelette.
Spanish omelette, the hungry goat. We've got our chopped raspberry tarts and our lemon meringues.
Great variety. Great variety. Looking forward to getting into that.
Absolutely, can't wait. Thank you.
Oh, to leave a high-profile corporate job, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, move to the country, move to the Hunter Valley here and live your dream. Well, that's exactly what Carolyn and Paul Shields have done. They've bought this beautiful big estate, this big rural estate, and they've outfitted it with shipping containers. Not just any shipping containers, they've made them into luxury accommodation here at Tuckers Lane.
So there's Carolyn and Paul to greet us. It's an impressive property, designed as an adults-only retreat. They dreamt of making an accommodation property with a point of difference. And that point of difference are the 5 shipping containers that Paul has outfitted. He's quite the handyman, and all that lush green acreage, plenty of lawns to mow, but Carolyn's up to the task.
How long does that take you?
A couple of days.
So, on that lawn, you've got some accommodation and it's got a real point of difference.
Yeah, we've got 5 shipping container cabins, or 5 cabins, but essentially we've got between 7 couples.
Yes.
We've got 3 one-bedroom cabins, 2 two-bedroom cabins. We've got a group space. We're looking to promote the group space a lot more this year with functions, weddings, musicians, get-togethers, high teas. So many things, so many opportunities that we're really looking forward to promoting over the next couple of years, especially as we become a little bit more established.
Yep, we wanted to be a point of difference, so we wanted to look like a hotel on the inside and look like a shipping container on the outside.
Wow, wow. Well, it certainly works. I'm certainly enjoying the accommodation. Pretty specky.
Loving the private outdoor spa, one for every cabin.
Well, here's that luxury fit out of these shipping containers we talked about. Tasmanian blackwood that Paul has installed, the architraves, beautiful view back there. Look at that. Look at that. Kangaroos over the back there. He's made this table. He's made these little side pieces. Just beautiful handiwork.
Paul crafts all of this woodwork in his adjoining workshop. Tuckers Lane Custom Furniture is how he brands it. And his skill and passion are reflected in every item he builds.
Now, what about this? You brought a masseuse in today?
Yes, we have. We've got Mel. We've been working with Mel. She does massage, facials, yoga, all sorts of fabulous services that she brings to our business.
And all these waterways, I'm loving these waterways. This lovely intimate little lake here full of reeds, lovely to walk around, lovely to watch the reflections, to enjoy the sunset.
Yep, we've got some chairs dotted around. We've got some chairs dotted around the top one as well. You can sit back. Lots of people take up some wine and cheese and sit back and relax, especially when it's sunset and where they go for a romantic paddle in the kayaks.
Yeah, we've had a couple of proposals. We've set up some outdoor picnics around the grounds, and we've got some really exciting plans to build a future wedding space and essentially just an outdoor space that capitalises on that beautiful dam up there. We work with a couple of other local businesses around that bring in gourmet picnic platters or chocolate platters or breakfast, you name it. We're really spoiled for choice, Greg, with the services that we've got in the environment.
Sunset sees a special celebration. Bring on the musician.
And that's just the way it is. Oh, but don't you believe them?
We've built the entertainer, the group space. We've got a lot of plans to do group functions, weddings and those sorts of things, and we get that real sense of what we're looking for. Essentially, we joke about it with our guests often, and we say we built this space for us, and sometimes we share it with guests. A little self-indulgent, but at the same time, Paul and the kids built the pizza oven through COVID round one. Yeah.
First round COVID. I'm not a school teacher, so I had to look after the kids, so I teach them life skills and how to build a pizza oven.
It's a great way to end the day here at Tucker's Lane. Bettered only hours later when the bonfire is ignited.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went high.
Tucker's Lane, classy furniture, boutique accommodation, you beauty.
There's a growing trend when it comes to dining, entertainment and micro brewing. No better exemplified here than on Lake Macquarie, just north of Sydney. We're at Lake Mac Brewing, about to learn all about one man's passion with micro brewing.
The man of passion, the master brewer we're talking about is Luke Willis. There he is, manhandling a bag of malt from New Zealand.
And Luke, this is your magic grain.
Yeah, that's correct. It's one of the lager malts we use.
So lager malts from where?
New Zealand. We use New Zealand malts.
Why is that?
We found that Australian malts are really good, but our recipes do better with New Zealand malts.
So Luke, you've got a real passion for making beer.
Yeah, that's correct. I've been a avid home brewer for over 20 years, and this is my passion. To make beer and make beer that makes people happy. That's why I do it.
Here, Luke is pouring the grain into the mill where it's being squashed just enough to expose the starch. That starch and the malt husks are then piped up to the grist case where it'll be mixed with hot water. Steaming hot water, 66 degrees.
Next step in the process, Luke?
We mix that malt with hot water, and then that hot water turns it into a wort. And obviously after that process, we transfer it to our kettle, obviously, and that's where the hops get added for bitterness, flavour, things like that. And then it goes from that into our fermenters, and that's where our little yeasties do their little things. A couple of weeks later, we have beer.
The process of fermenting ends up with the beer being canned and labelled. Luke is doing all of this with just one assistant. He prefers to be a one-man band. And then it's into his adjoining eatery. Amazing the crowds he attracts here in this Morisset industrial estate. So why is that? Is it the laid-back ambience, topped off with specialty drinks like this one, the apple pie, the combo of cloudy cider and fireball whiskey topped with whipped cream and a biscuit? What about his signature chicken wings? Hot as hell.
A lovely concept, an interesting concept where you've got the brewery, you've got the dining area connected to it. Not only that, you've got games.
Oh yeah, definitely. We decided to add a little bit of fun and games and adventure and stuff like that. You've probably seen we've got the cornhole outside, marketed with our own name, as well as we've got Connect 4 and numerous other games.
And that's the way we wind up our time with Luke, the passionate brewer, watching his patrons playing all manner of big-scale games.
A beautiful rural setting now. We're at Camden, just south of Sydney, at the Camden Valley Inn, built just before the Second World War. Tudor-style buildings have just been renovated. A delightful place to visit.
Wide open spaces here. We're in the country, with Sydney's great urban sprawl still a long way away. 40 Tudor-style rooms here, all with great rural views. Here's my room. So elegantly furnished. There's those great views. Refreshed, I meet up with General Manager Kayla Sini.
Kayla, we're living history right here.
We certainly do. I mean, originally started as a milk bar back in the day, a very popular spot. Obviously, where we're positioned right on the Hume Highway here, it was extremely popular spot back in the day for travellers coming by for their tea, scones, bickies.
So an incredible position as I see it, because you're on the edge of Sydney and you've got all this vast greenery around you.
Yeah, we're not so far from the city, but you still get that country escape.
So what do you think? What do you think are the points of difference about the Camden Valley Inn?
just that we still have that warm country hospitality, and I mean, the views out the back, incredible. So you can just soak it up, stay here, you don't need to go, you can stay in accommodation and have a celebration with us.
There's a warm, cosy feeling inside. Ever so friendly bar staff and a healthy selection of drinks and meals for guests.
We wind up our time at the Camden Valley Inn with two adorable pet goats. One is called Cam, as in the Camden Valley Inn. The other is Dan. So Cam and Dan. Lovely, lovely.
The Camden Valley Inn, a great gateway to Sydney and ever so close to our next experience, the nearby K Ranch.
We have a lovely story now, all about quarter horses and a massive ranch, the biggest in Australia, K Ranch. One man's dream here at Camden, south of Sydney.
It's horse headquarters here at K Ranch. Big stables cater for thousands of visiting horses every year, while out on the outside arena, they're being put through their routines. Out of the dust comes K Ranch mastermind Mick Cooney with his 7-year-old son, Colt.
Mick, you live in the dream.
Yeah, mate, it's been pretty good. The dream is what we've built here, K Ranch Arena. It's an arena that, I got the influence from Texas, a place that I went to over there, and I was team roping over there. And I dreamt about bringing a facility like that back here to Australia, and here we are about 6 or 7 years into it.
You're a champion team roper.
Yeah, I had a good year back in 2010, and travelled all over the country, and I was lucky enough to get some wins on the board, and at the end of the year I was the highest money earners, which is crowned the champion.
All those trophies, all those big belt buckles. Look at that belt buckle you're wearing right now. That signifies what?
Well, that's all the hard work from going all around the country and, going to every rodeo you could and performing at your best and, getting the wins, like I said.
And exactly what does that signify?
Oh, mate, for me, it's my sport, and you're crowned the best competitor of the year. It was a great achievement.
Plenty of space here at K Ranch. Mick has combined several properties to give K Ranch lots and lots of room to expand.
Well, we've got 400 acres.
Yeah.
We've got the indoor arena, which encompasses 2 acres under cover.
Yeah.
Then we've got an outdoor arena, which we're in right now, and then we've got another little warm-up arena. We've got 200 indoor stalls. The main arena has a saloon bar and canteen and a Western store, conference room, VIP room, so yeah.
The team roping that Mick has excelled at requires real skill.
Well, team roping is a sport that originated back in the Western days, mainly in America. But I guess it became the fastest, it became a competition from the land where people used to go and rope cattle in the pasture, and instead of bringing 100 head in to doctor one cow, they just go rope that one cow in the pasture, doctor it there. And I guess, they decided to run a competition to see who's the fastest. So what will happen here is I'll nod my head, which the gateman will open the gate. I'm going to try and rope his horns as fast as I can, and then my partner's going to come around the corner and rope 2 feet. Once we've both got him stretched out, the flag drops, and whoever's the fastest wins the money. It's very difficult. I mean, I'd like to explain it's a little bit like you've got to have a bit of talent, you've got to get some lessons, but then you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Your horse is a major part. If you don't have the right horse, you're facing a battle. But you've got good horses and you've got the desire, you'll get there.
K Ranch's huge main arena houses many, many major events every year. Today it's the New South Wales State Quarter Horse Championships. Leanne Hall has travelled down from Kilcavan in Queensland to organise today's event and help the judges.
In Australia, the quarter horse first came almost 70 years ago and has gone from 4 stallions imported in 1954 by King Ranch to today's numbers. We're registered over 190,000 quarter horses nationwide, and we have over 4,200 members. Every state has affiliated clubs. Most states will have a state championship show like we're running here today. We have a national championship every year in Tamworth, the first one being held in 1978.
Wow. And so big numbers come to ride, big numbers come to watch.
Yes, as well, and we also have lead events where people don't have to ride. The quarter horse as a breed is very intelligent, they're willing and they're versatile.
And they're friendly.
They're very friendly, they're people-friendly horses. The name quarter horse originated back in the 1800s in the United States, where in the towns they would have match races where they would race horse against horse over approximately a quarter mile. This breed developed into being the fastest of all over that distance.
So you like them, they're lovely horses.
I love them. It's in our blood. At the moment we're having some classes for Western Pleasure where the horse is judged on his way of going, he's correctly performing the walk, the jog, the lope. He's happy in his job, as you can see going around here. The judge will ask them to walk, jog and lope both directions of the arena. She will then call them to the centre and ask them to back up.
Judging these events is a serious business. So serious, they fly the main judge in from the USA, Tammy Braham.
Tammy, you've come all the way from Ohio?
Ohio, United States.
The reason being that you're an impartial judge?
Exactly. I know no one here, and I came to judge the horse show. I show quarter horses. I am a horse trainer, meaning I coach people and I train their horses, and I judge in Ohio as well.
So you're judging here today.
I am.
What are you judging? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for excellence. So my job is to find excellence, find the top of the class, find the horse that does the best job. We have two different types of competition where I judge either the horse or the rider. Sometimes I'm looking at the rider's performance, sometimes I'm looking at the horse's performance. In the pleasure, it's the horse, and the horsemanship, it's the rider.
So, being an expert in Ohio and the USA, how are you comparing standards here today?
Oh, I think that your quality is just as good as the States. It's excellent here. I'm really enjoying myself. Very nice horses, very good competitors.
One of the competitors today is Rachel Turner.
Rachel, where have you come from?
Travelled all the way from central Victoria.
9 hours driving from Bendigo.
Roughly, yep.
Wow. Why?
It's our state championship, so we basically compete all around Australia. We just love doing the sport, and hours don't really matter in the car. Is typically what we'll wear for horsemanship,
yes,
which is the class that we have up next. So we do have some bling here, but you don't have to. You can be plain shirt, you can have more bling, it's completely up to you. So neat, fitted, so they can see our position and judge us accordingly.
Rachel is competing in the amateur horsemanship class. One by one, the riders go through their paces in a set pattern as requested by the judges. What the judges are looking for are their general horsemanship skills. And who is named as the winner of that class today? Rachel Turner. Who better then to teach me to ride than Rachel Turner?
Put your left leg in the stirrup and
Left leg in
swing
the stirrups.
over with your
Swing
right.
right over. Yep. So far, so good. We're simply going to go for a little walk here, are we?
Yes.
Well, I'm not exactly the midday rider, but it is easy going. Lovely, easy temperament, these quarter horses. Not as energetic as the horses used for team roping. Mick Kearney is a master with the lasso. He even sees me as fair game. Skillful roping from Mick here, bringing to an end this episode of Travelodge.
Good one, Mick. Good one, Mick.